preamble. This is the 100th season of the Grey Cup, so it's there isn't many leagues that have had the ups and downs and the lifeblood of this league. And as some of those pictures show, it has a lot of history, and that's what we're celebrating this year. Last year we had the good fortune to host it in this great city, and it was the 99th Grey Cup. And last year when the BC Lions won it, and you know, many know the story, we started 0-5 and then caught fire and played very well and ended up being successful in winning it. And winning it at home for the 4th time out of the 99 years. That's all that, it's so hard to win at home, and people say, well, why is that? It's everything from the distractions of family to having to look after tickets to friends to all sorts of things. It's just a harder game to play when you're at home until you get into the game, and then the fans can help you. And that's what we were fortunate enough. So that was the 4th time it's happened in 99 years. And the 2nd time for the BC Lions, interesting enough, because BC won it in 94 at home. And as I said, those who are fans would know Lou Pasaglia kicked the field goal in the last play of the game to win that one. So the last 2 times it's happened, it's happened to the BC Lions. So, you know, as a league, it is a great celebration, and it's just starting for us. There's going to be a train tour across the country. There's stamps, there's all sorts of commemorative books that are being done to celebrate certainly a league that is gone through the ups and downs of economies, the ups and downs of what war brings, and uncertainty in economies and things like that, to still be standing and to be probably today as strong as it's ever been in the whole 99-year history. And we have 8 teams in the league. The Ottawa will be coming back into the league in 2014. We have new stadiums in Ottawa, Winnipeg. Regina just announced that. Those Jolly Green Giants and all those Green fans who come out of the woodwork everywhere. And who else? In Hamilton. So, as I said, the league is doing well. Some of the things that people don't realize is our football players are very good athletes, and this is all about the football players. And many of them are, either played in the NFL or have gone on to the NFL from here. And, we had a player a few years ago by the name of Cameron Wake, who spent 2 years with the BC Lions. He probably made with us about $110,000, $120,000 in his final year. And he just signed this off-season with Miami. And I think the number is in the range of $50 million. And now, those are few and far between. Unfortunately, it is like winning a lottery. You have to have all the things fall your way. But I will also tell you that we go looking for players all over. And to put it in some context, we do 7 camps through January until June when we have our training camp in Kamloops. And this year we had over 500 players come out and try to get an invitation to our camp so they could try to make our team. Over 500 players in those 7 camps. So there are lots of people, lots of men looking for jobs in that business. And as a league, we prosper on the fans in the stands. That's what drives our business model. Without that business model, we wouldn't have a league. So that's why, I get these questions about blackouts and why don't you show all your games, and it's important for us to have bums in the seats. But the reality is, television is a big part of our marketing mix. It surprises many people when we tell them that on TSN, who carries all of our games, CFL games, our audience numbers average for a game of around 800,000 people to watch per game. That's the peak. It's higher, that's the average for the 3-hour period. It's higher on TSN than any hockey broadcast. They don't get that kind of number for hockey broadcasts unless obviously they're in the playoffs when our numbers are up too. But to put in some context, football is loved by Canadians and watched all over this country, and we feel very good about that. The 100th Grey Cup is going to happen in Toronto, and I think they're going to do a great job. It sold out a long time ago. You know, Toronto is the center of the universe, I think. I spent 4 years there and couldn't wait to get back here. But no, I mean, you know, Toronto is Toronto. I like the city, but it doesn't have the mountains, the ocean, the people. So I can tell you that that this is the place to be and to live and to do business and all of those sorts of things. But from a league perspective, we are, as I said, doing about as good as any this league has done in the 99-year history of the league, and as we enter into this and are in our 100th anniversary season. So let me fast forward now to the BC Lions, your BC Lions. We're in our 59th season. Next year will be our 60th season. We've had the good fortune to win the championship 6 times. As an organization, we've never won it for 2 consecutive years. This is the year. That's our goal, that's our objective, that's what we set out to do. And we think winning the 99th Grey Cup and the 100th has got a nice ring to it. So that's the plan. Let me tell you about our players. They come from all over. They have diverse backgrounds. We obviously, as a Canadian Football League, we have to have a ratio of so many Canadians. For us, the average salary in the CFL is about $85,000. So we've got players who make the minimum that we can pay through a collective agreement. The Player Association is just under 50, and then the maximum, obviously, in our case, we have a player making $400,000. So it's a wide range. But at the end of the day, these guys are going to end up having to probably work after they're done with their careers. And as a kid who grew up as a big football fan and had an opportunity to be involved with the league at one time, and then now to be involved in running a team, working with quality people like Wally Buono, working with an owner that's just outstanding in David Braley, and you people work for organizations. If you have a company and you have leaders of those who believe in you and believe in what they're doing, the investment is there, and that's what we have the good fortune here with our team in BC. Our players, the good news is for us, out of all sports, I mean, I love the Canucks and I can't wait for them to get their first Stanley Cup. And they have worked so hard for it, and they're certainly at the top of the mountain and just about near the top, and we wish them lots of success. But I'll tell you what, our guys, we have out of our 42 in our roster that play, we have between 55 and 60 at any given time in town on contract. About half of them, 23 of them, live here year-round. And they are part of the community. They live all over in the Lower Mainland. They are involved in, charity events. They're involved in taking their kids to school. This is where they live, and what it allows us to do as an organization to get very involved in the community and try to give back as an organization. And our faces are players. At the end of the day, they are the stars, and we can't forget that. And they have good messages, and the way they carry themselves, we have a high standard. We create that standard, and some don't make it, not because of talent, because they don't carry themselves the way they need to. Whether that's around the football club, whether that's on an airplane, whether that's in a club or anywhere else. And we have a high standard, and believe me, I thought it was a challenge bringing up daughters, a couple of daughters, being on a road trip with our guys. These are very strong, healthy, and good-looking young men. So they like to have fun and do all sorts of things, and we want them to do that, but of course to balance it. So we also have, as an organization, we try to give back, as I said, to the community. We've been involved in a number of things. This last year we created a program with ending violence against women. And it's been a very powerful message that our players have been taking out to schools. And we've had the kind of partners that you need to do that and the kind of funding to be able to do that. But that is what we truly believe is a core part of what we have to do to be part of this community and to kind of get the support both from the fans in the stands and then the corporate community in sponsorships and signs and programs and things like that. Now the business you're in, I mean, we went on this road trip just down to Hastings Street, and we left this place we used to call BC Place the Dome, and it had this reno and this renovation, and we went over to Empire, and we thought that was going to be outstanding. It was going to be really neat nostalgia and allow us to leverage that and bring back a new group of fans to experience what it must have been like pre-1983 and through the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And it was neat. It was lousy for us as a football team. For whatever reason, we didn't play very well in Empire, and we had a hard time. Our record was not very good there. And for the fans, I'll never forget, the first few games, everybody was on a high. There was this very good feeling. And then it started to wear off. And then going to walk through to go to a porta potty that was kind of messy, to get to a long beer lineup, to get to a problem with parking, with no transit near, all sorts of things. It quickly evolved to be, the love-in got less and less, and now it was reality, and for most of us, we couldn't wait to get back to home, or in this case, our new home. And the reason I bring it up, because so much of what you folks do, you sell yourselves, you sell image, you sell relationships. That's what our job, I mean, at the end of the day, we're selling the game, the entertainment of the game, but we're also selling the experience. The experience by the time you walk into that stadium, that you have a special experience, and how you treat people, and what you do, how you do it, how you say it, and I can tell you from Empire to now going into BC Place and having a hiccup on the first night, September 30th last year, we moved back into the stadium, and I'll never forget pushing David Podmore and Warren Buckley and saying, guys, you gotta get us 4 games there next fall. Like, we gotta be in the big house down the stretch, and we need 4 games. Little did I know that we really did, because we needed to win every one, and we did. But we also, it allowed us to have those 4 games there, but in that desire to be in there, we rushed to get that building ready. And when we opened up, we weren't fully dressed to the degree we wanted to be. We didn't have our game face, our customer service face on. And I say we as BC Place, we as the BC Lions organization. Those aren't our staff, but they're a partner. They're a partner, so they might as well be our staff. Because when you walk in there and you're coming to a BC Lions game, they are our staff. They have to be. They're truly partners. So the best news is that it's continued to get better as we've been there. And today I can tell you that there is no finish line, and you people know that with service. You can always do something better, unique. You always find something. But for us, we clearly are much better in that stadium, and the presentation and all of the new toys we have, from the second largest center hung video board in North America. It's the second largest. The biggest one is in Dallas, and of course Dallas, everybody knows, Dallas, everything in Texas is bigger. So they had, but we have all of these new toys and whistles and these opportunities in this stadium to create that experience along with what's going on the field. And we're just slowly getting to that. We're just slowly getting stronger. It's a skill set, it's a mindset, it's all of the above. And that's why I say there's a lot of correlation between the service that you're in. My friends at Air Canada. I'm part of the Million Mile Club. I ended up one day and about 2 years ago getting this nice package in the mail. I open up the package and it's a nice letter from the president of Air Canada saying, welcome, you've made it. So I got a model airplane. And that's for all of the miles and that I was on Air Canada. But they make you feel special, and it's part of it. So whether you're super elite or super elite or all of those sorts of things, the same business that you're in, and the thing that I heard when you hear the introductions is the best of Vancouver is here in terms of accommodations, in terms of facilities and venues. And for us, last year we hosted the Grey Cup here. We're going to go bid on another one real quick. And the normal is every 8 years. We were fortunate enough, we had one in 2005, then we had one in 2011, 6 years. We're not waiting 6 years. We've got this outstanding convention center, we've got this outstanding stadium. We're going to go and bid as an organization to get another Grey Cup. And I think if everything goes well, it'll be in another by 2015. So maybe a 3 or 4 year period. Because I really think for this league to showcase itself that we're in our best position when we show the world, or we show North America, or we show Canada. Because those ratings for the Olympic opening ceremonies, they just beat out the Grey Cup by I think 100,000. We had last year 6.7 million Canadians watching the Grey Cup game. That's how many Canadians on an annual basis turn into the Grey Cup. Whether they're football fans or not, it captures this community as a reason to get together and celebrate. And the best news was, there was no riots. Football fans, I'll tell you though, there's something about football fans, it's more of a love-in than anything. And we are going to, because we're blessed in this community to have outstanding venues and hotels, like second to none in Canada, and these outstanding venues, it allows us this opportunity to invite Canada and Canadians to come to our community and celebrate this great game of football. So I'm going to close with a video that just talks about the pride of all BC. And it's something that we latched on to 2 years ago, and it's about a 1.5-minute video. But I want you to think of yourselves, because when we talk about us being the pride of all BC, that reflects the people in this room too. You make us be proud to be British Columbians. So let's begin.
Pride. It started in the 1950s and grows stronger with every snap.